are you today? Today I wanted to take some time to talk to you guys about makeup brushes. I love makeup brushes. There's so many different types of brushes and so many techniques that you can use with different makeup brushes and get different results on your face. But this is going back to the basics. I'm going to tell you the top 5 makeup brushes I think every girl should own in their makeup bag. And then I'll also show you 5 brushes that are just fun to have and you might find some use for them, but they're not really a necessity for everyday makeup. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'll start with foundation. My favorite brush is the Sigma F80. It's a flat top, really dense synthetic brush. You can, if you use liquid foundation or cream foundation, this is really good. You can pump your foundation right on top, dot it all over your face, and then just buff it out in circular motions. It will give you a flawless airbrush effect. This is my favorite brush. You can get it at sigmabeauty.com. I can't say enough good things about this brush. I use it all the time. I even use it with my tinted moisturizer. I use it to buff out my concealer. I use it for all over face foundation. I even have my Studio Tech Compact, which is a cream compact. You just dab it in there and buff it onto your face. You can get a lot of good use out of this brush. Moving on to powder. This is the very first brush I ever owned. I think it's a MAC 150. It's their large powder brush. This is good to have like for setting powder. Some of my friends that I know, they just wear Studio Fix, MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. You can just swirl it around, get a good light coverage on your face. Any type of powder you want to use. Also, if you want to use it for blush and you don't want a lot of like concentrated color on your cheeks, the bigger the brush, the less color you're going to get on your face. So you can always use this for blush too if you just want a little bit of color on your cheeks, but nothing heavy. So yeah, everybody should own a powder brush. This is good for loose powder too, to set your makeup. And again, I think everybody should just have a powder brush in their bag. Next is my blush brush. I think this was the second brush I ever bought. I love MAC brushes. It's the MAC 129. You can see comparison to the powder brush, it's a lot smaller. It's good for blush, right into the apples of your cheeks. Good for bronzer, good for if you want to use powder foundation and you want a concentrated, more coverage, the smaller the brush, the more coverage you'll get. So you can also use this for your powders too, loose powders. The next 2 brushes are my staple eye brushes. I don't wear a lot of eyeshadow day to day, but when you do wear eyeshadow, I think it's good to have a brush handy. This one is a flat eyeshadow brush to just get like concentrated color right on your eyelid. And if you have one brush, then I would definitely suggest this one. This one is by Sonia Kashuk. You can find this at Target. It's fairly cheap. I think e.l.f. even makes them at Target for like $1. I mean, you can't really beat any eyeshadow brush like this. Then, if you really want to get into your eyeshadow, this is a crease brush. It's the MAC 224. It's a very popular brush. You really don't need both, but if you wanted to do 2 different colors, then I would do like a concentrated color on your lid. This one would go right into your crease to give you more definition, or you can use this to just sweep some all over color all over your lid too. So those are your face and eye brushes. Very staple. I think every girl should own them in their makeup bag. Very standard. These are some of the brushes that I use every day when I'm applying my makeup. Now I'm going to go to some of the fun brushes that I have that you don't necessarily need, but you know, it's always fun to have. So this is a Sonia Kashuk, another brush. Target has great brushes, by the way. This is Sonia Kashuk, number 129. It's a fan brush. Sorry that it's a little dirty, I just used it. But it's good for like highlighters. So if you're using a bronzer or a shimmery highlighter right at the top of your cheeks, it's very feathery, so it's not going to deposit a lot of color. It'll just give you that perfect little bit of highlight, give you that glow on your cheeks. And you can do this down the bridge of your nose, on your chin, right here a little bit in your forehead, and give you that glow. You can use it with looser compact powders, but again, it's really good for just highlighting. You're not going to get a ton of concentrated color with this brush. Another brush I love, love, love is the MAC 187 brush. I'm sure you guys have seen this a million times before, but this is also good for applying foundation. So you can dot your foundation all over your face and buff your foundation out with this. Or you can use this for bronzer and get a light bronzing effect on your cheek. You can do a lot with this brush. It's endless. It gives you a really smooth airbrush effect. Comparison to the Sigma F80, It's very similar in that sense, but this will give you a lighter coverage because it is more fanned out and it's not as dense as the first one I showed you for foundation. Another brush I have is the Sonia Kashuk 121. It's very dense. It's a pointed foundation brush, but this is good for sometimes when you need extra concealer under your eyes, like you have dark circles or you just want to have extra coverage under your eyes, or this is what I use it for at least. I dot my concealer and then I do like this, because you don't want to wipe away concealer. If you wipe away concealer, it's not going to conceal anything. You want to just dab it and make sure it covers all blemishes or any dark spots that you may have. So this is a really good brush that I find useful from time to time when I want extra coverage on my concealer. My next brush is MAC 109. You can do a lot with this brush. I've seen people, and I've done it myself, use this also for liquid foundation. You can put your liquid foundation on your face, buff it out in circular motions. What I like to use this brush for mostly is contouring. So use like a darker bronzing shade right underneath your cheekbones. You can use it for contouring. Makes your face have that slimmer effect. It just gives your face some definition. I don't do that every day. Usually when you're going out or you want to do a full face, you know, for a special event, do some contouring for your face. And it's just a small circle, so it fits right into right underneath the bone of your cheekbones. And my last brush that I think is really fun to have is my Sephora Professional Bronzer Brush number 44. Look how big that head is. It's bigger than the MAC powder brush I have. It's very dense too. It's not really loose. So you could use this as a powder brush all over if you want, but it's very dense. So you don't want to, it's not going to just give you like a loose like powder effect. It's going to probably wipe away a lot of your makeup. This is really good for bronzer though. If you have like a light bronzer, just apply it to your cheeks, your chin, your temples. It'll give you a good bronzing effect. So again, this is very dense. I think Sephora changed the look of their brush. They might not have this exact brush. They have this brush, but I think they changed the look of it. But this one is Sephora number 44. It's just their bronzer brush. So I love this brush. I bought it forever ago and I just love using it for bronzer in the summertime. So those are my top 10 brushes that I love and the 5 that I feel like everyone should have. Again, I'll show them to you. You know, powder, blush, foundation, and for your eyes. And then the 5 that I feel that are fun to have, not necessarily a necessity to have in your bag, but you might find some use for them. Or if you're like me, you just, you know, from time to time, you just want to have fun with some makeup brushes and you're playing around with your makeup. But if you guys have any other suggestions on what you want to see, please leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully I'll get to do one more video before this baby gets here, so wish me luck, and I hope you guys have a great day, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Talk to you later. Bye.